Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, there we go. Where's my camera? There
Morning.
it is. How's everybody doing today? So excited to be here, right? Been studying for 2 weeks, right? Know everything. I can just sit back and listen. I want to go to the classroom. Let's see. Where's that view? Here we are. Let's go to the bar. No, we don't go to the bar. Beach. Oh, you're just not fun at all. Okay, fine. Okay, so what do we work? What do we say these 2 weeks? Tell me something you learned.
Collins Hexagon Race Act.
Okay. So if I'm an R, what kind of jobs would I like?
R is realistic.
What kind of jobs would I like?
Carpentry, be hands-on, making things and producing them.
Mhm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Somebody else?
I learned about Frank Parson being the father of vocational, and he's the first trade and factor.
Mhm. What separates him from Holland?
What was that again?
What separated him from Holland?
Um, I think does that have to do with the stages or?
So Holland was trade and factor also. Why are they different?
Mm, ah, um,
Anybody?
Is it due to the personal trait?
No, they were both trade and factor. Holland, when Parsons, he was first, he was the father of vocation. And when you met with him, there was no tool. Holland came up with the tool. He had the first of all, it was the strong interest inventory, and then it became the self-directed search. So the tool he used, well, that's where REASAC came from. So Holland had a great idea, and he would meet with you individually, and he would do like he didn't call it therapy then, vocational. He just got to know you personally, and he knew about the jobs. And he said, now when we have the two together, right? I'll match. I knew about the jobs. I knew about you. Holland said, well, let's come up with an assessment tool. The first one was the strong interest inventory, and then later it became the self-directed search. Self-directed search was so great because you could do it by yourself. You didn't have anyone to tell you what you're good at. Does anybody recall using it? It's still very much used today, and it's high school, college. We still use it. Sure, that looks like 1 second.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Hey, Joe.
Sorry about that. I beat my dogs there. Okay, so REASAC it's really about your interest, knowing who you are. So if you know who you are, then you can know about yourself, and you had a really good idea of then knowing what career you were good at. It's of all the things that we use, we study in this chapter, it's the only one that we still use. Okay, so that's the Holland's hexagon. But to get there, we're going to share my screen with you. So literally you filled it out. So I like to work on cars. I like to work on puzzles. I'm good at working independently. I like to work in teams. So all of those things, right? You check out yourself, you decide who you are, and that's where you get your interest code. Right? So your interest code is going to be your 3 highest letters. If it's very clear what you're good at, your interest code will be it'll be RIA, and you get the 3 highest. If it's not so clear, it's called undifferentiated, where you'll have all of the letters will be low or flat. So if it's not clear what you're good at, you're going to get it'll be like a flat across the screen. So that way you'll have to figure out you're a jack of all trades, basically. You're not good at anything specifically. Okay. And then that tells you what you're good at. So tell me about the position of the letters. What if I'm an R and an S?
If you are an S, pretty much you a person like a hairdresser person. So you work with your hands and you deal with a lot of people as well.
So statistically for the test, it's not possible. You shouldn't be an R and an S. So you're going to be like the ones across from you, but not like the ones next to you. So you could be an RIA, you could be an ESE, but it's very unlikely that you're realistic as well as social. Okay, you're going to be the ones next to you, not like the ones across from you. I'm not saying it's not possible, but for the test, that's what they want you to know. Okay. Okie dokie. So that is.
We have that PDF. I've never
Sure.
seen that before. Thank you.
It's still very commonly used. Okie dokie. What else about Holland? So super was first. We look in order of my developmental people, right? Super was first. And then E.G. Williamson was considered next. You might see something about the Minnesota. He was the Minnesota viewpoint. That's E.G. Williamson. And then we go to Parsons, and then we go to super. And then, I'm sorry. So it was first in trait and factor. First, it was Parsons. He wrote The Father of Vocation. It was E.G. Williamson. And then many years later, Holland came along. So those are all 3 in the same category of trait and factor. Okay. So, and then Holland also used the term vocational identity. If you didn't know what you were good at, you didn't have a very clear vocational identity. Okay. Anything else you want to ask me before we go to questions?
Yeah, we were in study group last week and it came up as trait and type. Is trait and type the same as trait and factor?
It could be, but I usually see trait and factor. But don't be looking for the meaning, not the word, because if you look for those exact words, you might not see trait and factor. It may say your personality and your job knowledge. I think that's part of the problem sometimes is when we don't see those exact words on the test, then we get confused. So you've got to get the essence of it, not necessarily seeing trait and factor all the time.
And you said Williamson, Parson, and then
Holland.
Owen, right? Okay.
And then my developmental theorists are Ginsburg and so Ginsburg was first and then Super came along.
Thank you.
I also had a question about John Kreitz.
Right?
Yeah, he has 4 Cs, but in Hellwick, there's only 3.
He has 3 Ds and 4 Cs. So what you're going to see more often is the 3 Cs. I'm sorry, he had 3 Ds and 4 Cs. So you're going to see him for the career maturity inventory. And what he looked at was how he looked at the maturity level of high school kids. Well, it usually comes right up. Wow. Okay. I don't know why it won't come up today. Usually right. They do it all the time. Let's try that maybe. He's got the 4 Cs. What he's looking for is confidence, to see where you are. There's an image I want to show you, and I don't see it here. I'll find it and put it in your chat box. But what he did was he looked at where they were. So they were either career, then their choices, they were either confident, they were, I'm not going to talk my head. Okay. I will come
Concern.
back to that.
It's
Yes,
concern, curiosity, confidence, and consultation.
absolutely. Absolutely. But I haven't seen the Ds and I haven't seen anything in detail about knowing what the Cs are. Just knowing that he had the career maturity inventory belongs to him. Get your Word doc started. Okay, here we go. Student told me last week that this word was on her test. And it's not a clinical word, the term abatement. It's not a clinical word though. We will start with 20. And I think like the other ones, it's still very vague. So they're not going to say the theorist's name. You'll swear up and down you didn't see super at all. Okay. I'll start in the corner. Shadia.
Okay. A student is encouraged to take internship and volunteer opportunity not because they guarantee employment, but because they may create future connection. The strategy most aligns with. So a student is encouraged to take on internship and they want to do volunteer opportunity as well, but not guarantee employment. So, but they want to create future connections. So we're gonna go to the answers. A, develop curiosity and persistence to embrace unexpected opportunities. B, strategize congruence, being fixed personality types and roles. C, narrowing aspiration based on preserved stability. D, accepting that career paths are determined early in life. So I want to take out C. And D.
Dog.
And what we use to get a close-up look at those spots on B.
So going back to the question, right? It said which strategy most aligned with this, right? I believe the answer is B.
Okay. And tell me why.
Hold on right quick. Sorry, my daughter is a climber. Um, I mean, when I say she be climbing, she be climbing. Okay, so the reason
I
why
thought
I
you
think,
meant.
yeah, like she straight up be climbing on stuff. Like I had to go get her down. Believe B is the answer because strengthen congruence between fixed personality types and roles.
So that sounds like to me reassec.
Yes, they
Okay.
really do. Yep,
Okay.
personality traits and roles.
But does that answer the question?
No, I don't think it does. I'm sorry, this little girl is doing so much. No, it don't. You know what? You're right, it don't. So it really don't, even though it's reassec, you're right, because personality types and roles are reassec. So it does not answer the question. So the answer possibilities probably is A.
Okay.
Cut due to the fact that that person is curious. Could they take an internship and volunteer opportunities? So they curious, and they want to create future connections. So they persistent to embrace unexpected opportunities. Yep. Yeah, you know what? 20 is age. Yeah, it makes more sense to me. 20 is age.
So do we know what theory this might be?
Wouldn't that be Creeds?
Nah, this is he didn't talk about he talked about giving you a test to see where you are. This is Ginsburg. Tentative fantasy and realistic.
We're gonna have a colorful day today. So first,
So he's in a tentative stage. Actually, he's probably so what words? Guarantee employment. So he's probably actually in the realistic stage.
who's an olive?
In exploration, narrowing down, crystallization, specification. So that's Ginsburg and others. You didn't need to know that theory, though, to understand the question.
Make a value point because it actually makes sense to me.
But you didn't, I mean, there's a theory behind it, but you all you had to do was read the question. There's nothing, this is a reassec, right? The second one, congruence is the word, right? If my letters are high, right, then it'll match my job. That makes sense?
Yes. Dr. Pam, I want to ask you something. When I sometimes read the questions that you be pulling out, I'm not gonna lie. Even though you don't have to know the theories, sometimes it make like common sense to which is the question, the answer.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
I kind of wish that the test be like that had time for like
It is. I swear it is. You can study with someone who is not studying this, and they can still pick up on the clues in the question. I promise you, it is like this. I promise you. Now, some are very specific, and I have to know who said what, but a lot of them really are just like this. Okay, 21. Actually, I'm gonna do this one first. Okay, Kathy?
A client says, I feel like my career story has chapters. What I wanted in my 20s is not the same as what I value in my 40s. Which perspective best fits this reflection? So it's a client saying that what they had before is not the same as what they have in their 40s. So
Do
this
you know what
is
theory is beneath this?
reminds me of developmental because it has like stages. They
Okay.
talking about 20s, now it's 40.
Okay. Okay. So developmental, who would
It,
that be?
it could be Ginsburg or Super.
Got it.
Mhm. So
And
now,
specifically, do you know what part of Super's career this is? You're exactly where you should be.
oh, specifically, it would be in the, well, they were in the like exploration and
So
now,
it is what this is about is he changed his belief. He changed it from vocational maturity to career adaptability. When he first started, he said with crystallization, you should be in your job when you're 18. But then later on, he said, you know what? Things change.
Mhm.
Okay. So it's a super question. And it's
Mhm.
measuring, do you know that he said it's okay to go from, career, this is what you thought you wanted, and be adaptable and change. Okay. So
Mhm.
now,
Okay. So careers develop across life stages with evolving roles and values. B, career choice is determined by personality type matching environment. C, career development is primarily about minimizing compromise. Or D, career decisions are one-time choices that must remain consistent. So I would eliminate D.
that is what he said when he began. His
Yeah.
first theory said you get your one job and you stay there forever. So you get the gold pin. Absolutely.
And then also eliminate B, career choices determined by personality type matching environment.
Who's
And
that?
career choices determined by personality. That is John Holland.
Yeah.
And so my answer would be A. Careers
Very
development.
good. Very good.
Mhm.
Very good. Again, you would have probably gotten that even if you didn't know. But when you see questions like that, don't tell me you didn't have any super questions. Just because you didn't see his name doesn't mean that he wasn't on the test.
Yeah.
And I think, again, that's the problem, is it's the vagueness. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't study this. I don't know. Okay. Kia?
A client insists, if I don't know every step of the plan, I can't move forward. A counselor working with a flexible approach would most likely encourage A, openness to uncertainty as a source of potential opportunities. B, returning to stable occupational lists to reduce anxiety. C, eliminating exploration until the personality is fully identified. And D, prioritizing family expectations over individual curiosity. A client insists, if I don't know every step of the plan, I can't move forward. I would like to eliminate C and D. We're left with A, openness to uncertainty as a source of potential opportunities, or B, returning to a stable occupation list to reduce anxiety. I'm going to go with B, return to a stable occupational list to reduce anxiety.
You are not.
No.
No. This is plan happenstance. This is Crumboltz. What did Crumboltz say? Have a plan, but if something else comes along, it's okay.
Okay. That confuses me.
So this is the rationale. And let's go back to Crumboltz. Okay, so that's the rationale, and the plan, have a plan, but things might not have a plan, and if it doesn't work out or something else better comes along, it's okay. Let me show you his theory. So he's Krumbolt's social learning theory. So when it says social learning theory, that means he was a follower of Bandura. So he's the one. Can somebody tell me about his theory?
Honduras.
Crumbles, right?
Krumbolt's, tell me about his theory.
So in decision making, right? Based on genetics and tasks.
Give me some more. Give me some more.
Environmental.
Oh, you can read so well. Did I not give you a video? Did you not watch a video on?
No, I don't recall.
So even if I don't give you a video, just go to the site, go to my YouTube channel and just look for a video.
I was gonna say there's a video about you mentioned him.
So always
You
just
said-
go, if I forget to give you one, just go to my YouTube channel and listen to it 20 times. That's the 15. That's the whole goal, is like, let me just go back and learn it. So that usually what I talk about in this one is I talk about, you tell me about it, Sadia, Shatia.
For
I'll get it right.
Chromebooks?
Yes.
You talking about Chromebooks?
Yeah.
Okay, so I do remember from the video, like you said, it is from Bandura's social learning. And he's more about the difference between him and I think forgot who else it was. My brain is when they going everywhere, but he's more about genetics and social learning.
Okay, so what the way that what I usually talk about is during COVID, and I talk about Kobe Bryant and his daughter that were killed in the accident. So imagine that she had not died. So what the theory says is, just because I've never seen it doesn't mean I can't do it. Okay, so he said, these are the 4 tenets: the genetic endowment. So, I when I was in high school, I was 5'10". I have hands big enough to palm a basketball. I'm just saying, genetically, I didn't get that part. Okay, environmentally, how you grow up, right? Did his kids miss any school during COVID? No, not at all. You're instrumental, how you learn the people around you, and the task approach skills, how you approach task and how you see other people do it. So if I grew up in the other side, a lot of my clients, my school social workers were trying to get food to clients, the students, trying to get the bus out there with the Wi-Fi and the lunch. So if I grew up where we didn't have a computer at home, and the school sent on one computer with 5 kids for us to study, and the only food we had is when the school delivered it, and I live around, that's in my neighborhood, that's where I live, do I grow up thinking I can be a doctor or a lawyer? I don't. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. So I don't think I can do it. So what he wants us to understand is, no matter what side of the track you grew up on, he wants you to challenge the client's belief system. So just because you can't see it, you've never seen it because your parents don't have all these right things, you can still do it. So what he used was the career belief inventory. So he wanted counselors to challenge the belief system of their clients. Just because you've never seen it doesn't mean you can't do it. And part of that is also then playing happenstance.
So Dr. Pam with Chromebooks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because it's making sense to me. It really is, because that's how I see my life. But because I didn't see it around me, don't mean I
Mhm.
can't do it. Because like
Absolutely.
I'm the first, like my mama never had a master's degree and my dad haven't, but I went to go get one.
Mhm.
So like we only got one family that's got a doctorate degree, but like he went to go get it. None of our family reached doctorate degree. So yeah, okay, I can see that. I actually like Chromebooks. Okay, go ahead, Chromebooks.
I'll
Look at
tell him you
you.
said that. I'll next time me and I are chatting, I'll tell him that's what you said. So part of that is the
Well-
plan happenstance, though. So what he said is have a plan in life. Have a plan. Okay. But some stuff might happen. None of y'all woke up when you were 6 and said, let me go be a counselor. Okay.
Can we go back to the question though? Because
We can.
that's all great and wonderful. We understand the concept, but how does that relate to the question? Because that's what one of the things that is the issue. Like we can know all these things, but when we interpret the question, it has to come out to be
Okay. So, okay, then. So the client says, I don't know every step of the plan. There's your hints right there. Plan. Okay. I can't move forward. A counselor working with a flexible approach would most likely encourage. Take a step. The plan might not work out. Don't go willy-nilly through life. Have a plan. And if something different comes along, it's okay. That's the meaning of plan happenstance.
Can
So
I
I
add
have to know that's a Crumbolt's question to know that. Go ahead. Do you see the rationale? This is go ahead.
that the happenstance also means to be open-minded? I don't know.
Yes, yes. Let me show you another question that you might see. So I would have to know that Crumbolt's wouldn't say just deal with the anxiety. He wouldn't say that. So keep talking to me because I think there's a missing piece there. So I would have to know the theory to know who they're talking about. Stay with me, Kia. Keep asking. You're still the curious look on your face.
like, because again, it just says that it says if I don't know the next step, I can't move forward.
And Crumbolt said, you don't have to know the next step. Just move forward. Have a plan. If something better comes along, if something different comes along, it's fine.
Okay.
Be flexible. Let me show you another one.
So Kia, use it like an example of real life, like something like if you never pass the test, you have something else in mind and head. Like, yeah, something else planned. That's how I was saying it.
I'm sharing my screen. Here we go. Do you see 447? Am I sharing that?
You
Yeah.
make it a little bigger.
I'm going to just take it out and copy it. Okay, yeah, take that same question.
You were retained by the Sunset Seed Company to assist their employees in career transition. As the company has recently been purchased by a competitor and the company headquarters is moving to Belgium. The first person you meet with is Derek, who has worked for the company for 20 years and has moved through the company with progressive responsibility. He has never worked anywhere else. If you were practicing from Crumbold's model of social learning theory, you see your role as to A, help Derek to respond to his layoff in a positive manner. B, assist Derek in completing the unemployment forms. C, help Derek to determine what he needs to earn in order to maintain his lifestyle. Or D, help Derek look for a new job.
So what am I thinking?
I'm eliminating B, assist Derek in completing unemployment forms.
Okay.
And C, help Derek to determine what he needs to earn in order to maintain his lifestyle.
So now you're between A and D. What would Crumbold say?
Um,
Planned happenstance.
so I guess D, help Derek look for a new job.
Not at all.
So I don't know. I don't know.
Crumbold would say A. Nope, this was not your plan, but it'll be okay. I think that it just doesn't fit well with you because I can't lose my job if it'd be okay. So I think the
I'm just
theory
thinking of-
doesn't fit well with
I'm
you.
thinking of, like it said, task approach skills. So
Okay. So he's got so he's got those both of those are his theory. The first part is how we get the career, right? He talked about the career belief inventory. And then he also talked about planned happenstance. So if I've never grown up and I've never seen anyone get a job, I've never do this, go to college, do it, walk out your plan. And if something different happens, it's okay. Be flexible with that plan.
okay.
Let me copy this. Okay. Let me, okay, so that's plan happenstance. That's part of Krumbold's career. Okay. Let me see if I can come up with some more just to kind of get that. But let me go over some of the other theories and I'll come back to him. One thing, let's go. Let me go back to my purple, my 750 book. Those are really to recall. Let's go back with these. Mm. Okay, that just didn't copy it all. Let's just go. Mhm. Okay, you see 445? Yes, I'm sharing.
Yes.
Okay, Joe, this is yours.
Okay. Karen worked as a Wall Street trader for 10 years after graduation, then quit to raise a family. Now that her children are in school, she is interested in returning to the workforce. She has started taking classes to pursue a master's degree in art. As a career counselor practicing supers theory, what technique might you use to help Karen understand her role variations? Okay. So she's been a homemaker for many, many years, raising children, and now that they're in school and she has them out of the house, she wants to return to work, but she doesn't want to return to what she was doing. She wants to explore something new. And so we're looking at supers theory in congruence with that. Okay. All right. So A, use of the Jahara window. B, use of career life rainbow. C, use of self-directed search. Or D, use of strong interest inventory. Okay. I'm going to get rid of Jahara window because that is not super.
I can't type. Oh, I can. Hold on.
It's all right. I know it's gone. I'm going to get rid of
heck, I don't know. B is still in the running.
okay. I'm going to get rid of the strong interest inventory because she's already pursuing a master's in art.
Okay, so you get rid of that also because who does it belong to?
not super.
Who does it belong to? That
I know, I'm sorry, I'm thinking. Mm,
That's a Holland. That's
yes,
Holland.
okay, yeah.
Okay. So then if C is Holland, then who is D?
D is also,
It is. They're both Holland.
Yeah.
So the strong interest inventory came first, right?
Mhm.
And
And then
then
the
it
search.
became computerized, it became the self-directed search. So that's the career life rainbow.
Yes,
Now
because that's the
tell
only one that's super on that list anyway.
got it. Tell me about the rainbow. What's that look like and what does that mean?
So the rainbow has obviously the two arches, and so one
Nope,
is,
nope. That is the archway. That's not the rainbow.
well, the rainbow is arched, but the two, whatever, what do you want to call it? What, how do you want to, two sides?
So hold on. So I think you're confusing them. That's why I ask you. So he has a rainbow and he also has a archway of determinants. So
Yeah.
let's look at the rainbow first. So I think that's the
Probably.
problem sometimes is we get them mixed up.
I can view the rainbow in my head, but I think the terminology still gets twisted. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
So the rainbow is this. So the rainbow talks about life spaces and lifetimes, where you're at that space of time. Okay. Joe, are you still a child?
To my parents.
According to Super, you are as well.
Mhm.
Okay. You play the child role from the time that you're born to the time your parents die.
Mhm.
After your parents die, you're not a child anymore. Okay. So you're a student, right? You're a lifelong learner. We're students from the time that we are born, usually it was very young, all the way up until we die. So you see, like the bigger the circle, that's more where you're playing that role. So
Okay.
when you're young, you're very, and student doesn't mean school, life learners, right? So we're learning, we're starting from here and going all the way up. But as we get older, we tend to learn less, he says. The term leisurite belongs to him. Leisurite is the anytime not working. Okay,
Mhm.
so you can play several roles at several times during your lifespan.
Okay. In that question, would he consider that mom a leisurite since she stayed at home and she didn't have an official
Oh
job?
no, not at
I was just
all.
curious.
She was a homemaker. So
Oh, yeah.
the leisurite is any time when you're not working. So when we talk later about Super, he talks about your career. So anytime that you're not working is leisure time. So as they get older, so you have more free time. So that your leisurite is big time when you're 70, 80, 60, 70, 80, when you get older. Okay, so no, he would not consider that. He would consider homemaker a job. Okay, remember, women's job was to keep the home back then. We're talking early 60s. That was your job. You didn't work. Your only job was to make sure that when he came home that he had his meal and you packed his lunch and you kept his house clean and whatever. Okay, so we're talking 60s though. So that's the rainbow. What you're talking about is the career, the arc web determinants.
Grayson.
And no, I'm glad that you brought that up though, because a lot of people think they're the same thing and they're very different things. So the archway looks like this. So that's what you're talking about. So what happens is it's always going to be the left and the right. The left is your biological side, right? So my son, when he was, he was 5 or 6, he was in karate class, and they had a Christmas party, and some kid was crying because he got this little tiny piece Lego set. They were like the little bitty Legos, and the kid was crying, and my son's like, "Oh, I'll take it." And I thought he was just being nice, right? You know, in 20 minutes, he had it all put together. Like, oh my gosh, okay, we've got something here. We got something here. So biologically, my dad's an engineer. I don't have a math brain at all. Okay. So biologically, he got something. His aptitude was he really liked, I knew from then, we bought every Lego there was. We bought the ones that would spin and move with the batteries, all of those things. He's always like that. So when he was in middle school, I thought, I sent him to a pre-engineering program in middle school. This is my son's thing. Okay. The environment says, oh, by the way, being an engineer is a really good job. Right. So society says it's a good job. The economy, engineering classes cost more than regular classes. Did you know that? They do. They cost more than regular classes. He went to Tennessee Tech, and at his graduation, there were in the parking lot of his apartment, there were like Porsche and all these cars. So a lot of the students were from foreign countries. There are a lot of students from Dubai in his program. Okay, so everybody wants to be an engineer. Good job. People, you make good money. You build his construction engineering, so you make good money. So that was his goal. So as he grew his aptitude, he went to college. The labor market says it's a good job. So as I grow on the inside and the labor market comes to the outside, at the top, we find our true self. Okay. So that is what his theory says. So that's the one you're talking about. Let me show you what that looks like in a question. Okay, let's go back to here and here.
So Dr. Pam, the answer to the question was A? No.
No.
What was the question?
It's the career rainbow.
The rainbow. That was the answer.
Mhm.
Okay. I just sure. Thank you.
You know what the Johara window is? Do we know?
Yeah, it talks about the various areas of our lives, what's known to us, what's known to others, what's secret from us, and then one area getting bigger makes the others smaller, and vice versa.
What's the goal of Johara window?
For us to understand more about ourselves as well as others understand more about us.
Got it. Okay. Okie dokie. Where were we? Oops, I just talking to about. Joe, were we talking about the rainbow?
Yes, you were going to give us a question that
Yes.
specified
Okay,
the
there we go.
difference between the rainbow and the archway.
Okay, so look at this one. Give me a second. I think I didn't take meds this morning. There.
What do y'all think it is?
Oh, for the question. Hey, Edna.
Hi.
Do you want to read it for us and we can go from there?
Sure. Alrighty. Super contends that an individual's degree of work satisfaction is relative to the degree to which they have been able to implement their blank. Again, super contends that an individual's degree of work satisfaction is relative to the degree to which they have been able to implement their blank. So this is a super question, and it's talking about the work satisfaction and how it's relative to the degree of what, of implementing their what. So which ones do y'all think we need to take out first? Who is maturity?
Maturity. That's Cretes, right? We just did that, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're definitely taking that out.
Okay. Which one is next?
Self-concept.
I'm going to talk like Dr. Pam. Let's hold on to that one.
No, that wouldn't be it. My bad. So definitely vocational maturity.
Who would be for decision-making skills?
That's Crumbolts.
Good job.
Isn't it?
So then we would take out B and we would take out C because those are different theorists. So maturity would
Let me
be
go back. I heard that. So decision-making skills doesn't belong to anybody. There's a list in the book of how we make decisions. So decision-making skills doesn't belong to anybody. Okay, so when I walked away, I said, well, let me show you a question of what it looks like. What happens at the top of the archway?
Self-concept.
You find yourself. The left is the biological, the right is society. And at the top, when those two come together, you find yourself. Men define themselves as who they are. Make sense? Yes, Dr. Pam.
Yes.
Okay. So that's what it looks like in a question. I have to know that, so the same amount of energy and time that we put into the individual, the other theorists, we've got to put them in the careers as well. Okay. You've got to just know who said what. It's that simple. Important developmental experiences from childhood. Who would that be?
In a row.
Row, yeah.
It could be Roe or it could be Gottfried. Both of them talked about how we were raised in childhood. Okay. Okay. Sheena?
According to hold on, 'cause it's kind of small.
Let me make it bigger.
Okay. Oops. According to Super's developmental stages, a 55-year-old man would probably do which of the following? A, establish his
Simple question first. Okay. What theory is this one?
the life stages.
Okay. So he's got stages and he's got the task and the stages. Okay. Go ahead.
A, establish his seniority in the workplace through demonstration of his competence. B, begin to consider another career due to dissatisfaction with his work. C, work less hard or less often in anticipation of retirement. D, continue with his established present career pattern. So I know
What stage is he
generativity.
in?
I
No,
believe
that's
that's
wrong theory.
before
Wrong theory.
him. Oh gosh, what's after this? I know that.
So it's CSI are the stages. Let me show you that one second. So he said by the time that you are 18, that you should know exactly what you're going to do for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm. So he should be in maintenance. So I can't see the
I was trying to put it on your chat box, but it won't let me. There it is. Okay, so gemmed, GEEMD, that's what you're looking at. Okay. And it was first called decline, and then later he changed it to disengagement. Okay. And then the other one is CSI, South Carolina. That's how we refer to it, like CSI Miami, CSI, whatever. So crystallization, and then so between 14 and 18. 18, I show exactly what I'm doing for the rest of my life. 18 to 21, I should be specifying. I'm in training, doing something. Implementing my career by the time that I am between 21 and 24, I should be in my career. How'd that work for you guys? Everybody in the career at 24? Yeah, super. Old white man, not applicable to today. Right. And then from 25 to 35, that's the second S. I am stabilizing. And then from 35 to 45. And then my last one is CSI, South Carolina. I consolidate. So by the time I'm 35, there's nothing else to learn. I'm still going up the career ladder, but there's nothing else to learn. Okay. So going back to the question.
You can consider another grade. I'm gonna take out B.
I lost my D somewhere.
I'm gonna cancel out B.
Hold on. What else?
C?
D.
No. Mm,
Okay,
no.
tell me. So here, you're guessing. You're guessing. What I want you
No,
to
I
know is
said
to know about super before we get to the question. So somebody tell me without answering the question, what did super say?
that at this age that he should be maintaining his career.
He said that you work the same way on day one that you do on the very end. There's no early retirement. There's no anything at all. That you love your job on day one the same way you do on day 657 million. Now, which one says that?
D.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I just have to know the theory. He said you work the same way on day one that you do on 957. Okay.
Right.
I,
Dr.
on the other
Kim,
hand,
So
I'm doing
crossing out
C.
C would have been okay. Yeah, I said cross out C.
But okay, but you were lost because you didn't know the theory. Does that make sense? Remember, when we're talking, I don't really care about getting it right. I want you to know the theory, that no matter how I write the question, you know the theory. Does that make sense? You were lost. Yes. A little bit.
Okay.
Okay. I don't want to be right. That's not the goal. I just want you to know what he said. So no matter how I write the question, you're still going to know this is what he said.
Dr.
Okay,
Kim,
that's
ain't that the same person you saying in your one of your other videos that but because you know old white man, I'm gonna say old white man, old white man wrote it when you was like a lawyer. You pretty much had the whole family. You brought your boss over for dinner and all that.
and daddy that you pay kiss up to the boss's wife. Absolutely. You know, back then, my dad, you know, he got his job and he worked at the same job. He worked his way up the ladder and he worked at the same job for 30 years. That's what you did. I think if I told any of you had to work for a job for 30 years, you'd freak out.
I got cousins. I got two cousins that did that now. They are like high up there, but they started at 18 and now they up the ladder.
So task and levels. So sometimes it's called levels and sub levels. So the level, or sometimes the where you're at, but the tasks are the things you're supposed to learn. So the crystallization, those are the tasks. Sometimes I've seen it called sub stages. But that's what you're supposed to learn, the CSI. I didn't take this one.
Alrighty. A client explains, I feel pulled between being a parent, a volunteer, and an employee. It seems impossible to balance all of these roles. This most highlights. So there's a client and they're explaining how they feel like they're having to juggle between being the parent and then a volunteer and employee. And they're saying how it feels they're having a hard time balancing between all three of those. So this would most highlight what? Would it most highlight the influence of multiple life roles on career development? Would it most highlight the need to identify a single stable occupational identity? would it most highlight the effect of random events shaping job choices
Mhm.
or the mismatch between personality and environment? So again, you have a client that's being pulled between a parent, a volunteer, and an employee. I don't think it is D.
Who would that be?
A mismatch between personality and environment.
Mhm. That's a trait and factor, right?
Yes.
Okay, so your trait and factor should match. So that's not it, but that's a Holland question, Holland answer.
I don't think it is C either. The effect of random events shaping job choices.
That's
So then-
that's planned happenstance.
Yes, that's planned happenstance. The random events. Okay, so then I have two left. So then I go back to the question. So a client explains, I feel pulled between being a parent, a volunteer, and an employee. It seems impossible to balance all these roles. This most highlights what? Is it the influence of multiple roles on career development, or is it the need to identify a single stable occupational identity? I would pick 8.
That's it. And what theory is that?
The multiple life roles on career development.
Mhm. Who's that?
The multiple life roles, super.
Very good. That's the rainbow. That's the rainbow.
Thank you.
I swear I don't make up the questions, guys. I really don't. I'm just preparing you for the vagueness of the questions. And I think everybody will agree that's taking the test is they're just not so straightforward. What do we know about this question? Somebody tell me about Anne Rowe. What did she do?
Anne
Circumstance
Rowe.
compromise.
Oh, go
Mm-mm.
ahead, Joe.
No, she's not compromised. That's the other one.
Oh, okay. Anna Rowe is the type of person, she said, if you didn't get what you got from your parent, that's what you got your career in.
Say it again. Say it again.
Whatever you didn't get from your parents, that's what you got your
No,
career.
no. Same way.
That's how I remember the video.
That would make more sense. What you got from your parent, what you got at home is
Got
what you
from your-
need in your job. It's the same. It makes no sense. I get that. So the theory is she's the one that's based on Maslow. Okay. And Maslow is talking about our needs. So what she says is if you grew up in a cold home, you need your job to fill up that space. So if you grew up in a home where you are away from people, you're going to find a job, a cold home away from people, a warm home with people. Okay, so it makes sense. It would be the same, but the opposite, but it's not. So if whatever I got at home, I now need my career to satisfy. So if I grew up in a warm home where people were loving, overprotective, over demanding, right? They're all focused on me and is a great home, then I'm going to find a job with people. If I grew up in a home where they were not that way, I'm going to find they were cold, unfriendly, then I'm going to find a job away from people. That is my field. So it's the same, not opposite. It's the same. Okay. Then my level is based on my parents' education. Now, some books say it's Freudian. Some people just say it's genetic. The bottom line is whatever field, whatever level of education my parents had, I'll be in the same way. So if my parents were unskilled, I'll be unskilled. If my parents were highly skilled, professional, owned their own business, I would be in the same place. So the group is the same thing as the field. Okay, so the black line there divides it. So if I grew up in a home that was cold, then I would be on this side, organization, technology, outdoors. If I grew up in a field that was a house that was warm, I would be in general culture, arts, entertainment, services, and business contact. Okay. So the fields and the levels are not related. The field is the warmth or the coldness of my mom's, the way they parented me. Okay. And then the level is what my what my parents did, their education wise. Okay. Go back to the question. So everybody had one, right? Everybody had one question? And Chris? Okay, we'll go again. Volunteers, who wants this one? Thanks for volunteering, Joe. Appreciate that.
Anytime. All right. Let's see. Okay. During a career counseling session with your client, she tells you that she has always been interested in and felt more comfortable working with things and would like a job working with machines. According to Rowe's theory, what of the following would most likely be true? Okay, so career counseling, we're looking at this situation through Rowe's theory, and this client clearly would prefer things over people. So we're looking at A, she was raised in a large extended family. B, she was raised by warm and accepting parents. C, she was raised by parents who were cold and rejecting. Or D, she was raised as an only child. So we're going to cross, she specifically says she's more comfortable with things than people. So we're going to cross out A, and we're going to cross out B.
Okay. A and, I'm sorry, which one?
A and B, B is in ball, but
Okay.
D is also going to go because there's really nothing in the question that tells me whether or not she's an only child. So it's going to be C.
And it doesn't matter because Rowe didn't say anything about whether you had siblings or not.
Okay.
Okay. He only talked about how you were raised. Okay. Good, good. Kia, take that one. No, sorry, I put it in chat box. I'm here. You got it. Oh, hold on.
Someone with low vocational identity, according to Holland. A, has little clarity concerning his vocational goals. B, probably has had many different occupations. C, doesn't have much interest in vocational development. Or D, is of a personality type that has many divergent elements. Someone with low vocational identity, according to Holland. I would eliminate B, probably has had many different occupations. I'm looking to, this is little R over here. And then, and eliminate D, personality type of many diverging elements.
Okay. So I am down to what? A and C?
Yes.
Okay.
A little clarity concerning his or her vocational goals.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't see myself in a career.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought D was a viable option. Why is it not?
Because that's not what he said.
I guess I was interpreting it like the
Do your
reattack.
your textbook.
Yeah.
Look right under he talks about all this stuff, and there's one line about vocational identity. Milan, get over there.
I guess I was interpreting that as
Go to the textbook. Just tell me what it says. No interpreting. Just tell me what it says.
if my computer will pull it up.
Okay, hold on. I'll put my note.
My computer's a dinosaur, so I'm.
It's quite all right. Give me just a second. And I'm not being a smart aleck, but no determination. Just what Holland said. That's all that matters is what
That's
did
all that
Holland
is
say.
relevant for the test. Yeah.
I can read it real quick. It says
Please.
vocational identity. High identity individuals are those who have a clear and stable picture of their interests and goals.
That's it. No, nothing more, nothing less. That's all it means. Okay. So RIASAC is not this. This has nothing to do with RIASAC. Okay. So no thinking on my test.
That particular thing's on page 178.
Thank you.
No thinking. Just reading.
I was going to say, I think that's the worst for this profession because we're all always overthinking.
Absolutely, absolutely. But it's not just this test. I mean, it really is. That's how you take a standardized test. You have to turn off what knowledge you what you do every day, what makes sense, to just what does the textbook want you to know. Okay. Kathy, like this one.
Yeah, a client from a family where emotional support was inconsistent now prefers careers focused on objects and data rather than people. This career pattern most reflects. So it's saying that a client that was emotionally supported now prefers career focus on objects and data rather than people.
Okay.
This reminds me of Holland.
Nope.
No. Oh.
Hmm?
Okay. Let me read this again. A client from a family where emotional support was inconsistent now prefers careers focused on objects and data rather than people. This career pattern most reflects.
I'm sorry. Holland talked about how you grew up.
No, that's Anro.
Ah, because it says a client from a family. That would not be Holland.
True. Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So the choices are A, the influence of early family climate on occupational interests. B, the recycling of exploration in adulthood. C, the role of worldview generalizations limiting options. Or D, the process of compromise based on prestige. So because it's Anne Rowe
Mhm.
and family influences how you grow up, I would eliminate D, the process of compromise based on prestige. And then I would eliminate C, the role of worldview generalizations limiting options. And I would go with A, the influence of early family climate on occupational interests.
Now, you should have been able to get that even if you didn't know it was Anne Rowe.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just because it talks about the family in the question.
Mm.
Okay, so that is, so they grew up in a home where emotional support was inconsistent. So that would be a cold home.
Mhm.
Okay, but Anne Rowe says that determines what kind of career you're looking for.
Mm.
Shatia? Is it, okay, I get it right. Shadia. Shatia.
That's here.
Shatia.
Yeah. You be close. You be so
We're only on
close.
week like 37. Go ahead.
A client explains, when I was younger, I thought I could do anything. Now I realize there are only certain careers I can realistically pursue. This statement most aligned with. So, be honest with you, I did not know the theory.
Okay.
But let me read this again. I was younger, I thought I could do anything. There are only certain careers I can realistically pursue. This statement most aligns with, let me go through the answers. Circumcision, compromise, shaping career choices. A fixed personality environment congruent. C, a recycle lifespan roles. D, a focus on vocational identity clarity. So I know it's not super, so it's not C.
Okay.
And I know it's not B.
Who would that belong to?
Congruence. Oh, who is that? Environment Hollander?
Holland,
Is it?
trait and factor.
So going back, when I was younger, I thought I could do anything. Now I realize there's only certain careers I can realistically pursue. Hey,
Very good. Who's that?
hold on. I remember who is this? Who is this? Who is this? This is not Anna Rowe. This is not Ginsburg.
This is Godfrey. Same. G.
No, G.
I said it starts with the G. You're on the same. Yeah, it's Godfreyson's theory.
Hold on. Wait, this is a G. No.
It's Godfreyson's theory. It's on your screen. Okay.
Oh, Godfreyson. I can't
So-
got the.
Okay. So
Like
she.
got.
Listen. The way that I taught, I remember her is circumcision. She's one that does boy and girl. Okay. So she says we're shaped by society. and the way we're shaped by society tells us what roles that we can take as a job, as adults. Okay, so the first stage is size and power. She says, you know, that has more to do with little kids not really caring about what they're doing. And then we get our orientation to sex roles. That is what we begin to learn what girls do and what boys do. Girls get girl toys, boys get boy toys.
Why are you always teaching on film?
Okay. And then I learned my values of society when I'm in middle school. And by high school, I know what society expects of me. So then the compromise is I'm going to stay in a role, a job role that society expects me to be in. So it's very unlikely that a girl back then would be the truck driver we see now. Right? That just wouldn't happen.
But you know, Dr. Pam, I grew up like that with Godfreyson. My mama used to tell me that you can't do that because that's what men do.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what her theory says. So she says that we compromise to stay in sex roles. Now, so go back to the question. Does it make sense of, I know it was vague, but still understanding what she meant by that. So when I'm little, before I'm shaped by society, I think I can do anything. And then as I get older and society says, oh no, you can't do that because I'm a girl.
Kind of random question. Do you think that's becoming less as we
Oh,
move
most
forward?
definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely. This was written in the 50s, 60s. So this was really what society was like. So women were just beginning to get into the work field, right? So then there were definitely boy jobs and girl jobs, most definitely. We've made such an effort to get girls into STEM programs, right? So the more of the engineering and the mathematics, so definitely, most definitely.
And so is construction and welding and building
Mhm.
airplanes. Yeah, they mostly men. I grew up knowing that was a men's job.
And now we've really gone out of our way to make sure that girls really, one of my daughter's friends went into concrete manufacturing. I'm not sure if that was the degree, but it's a degree. It's not the engineering program either. It's concrete something. And yeah, and she's had her pick of jobs. I mean, and she's like, well, she's 27, but when she first graduated at 23, she had so many opportunities at starting off at like $100,000.
Not gonna lie, I did not even know that was a job.
I think it's called concrete something. But it's a degree. She went to school for it. Let's see what it's called. Who wants this one?
I do this one again. A counselor encourages a client to reflect on a self-concept across different life roles and to design a career path that aligns with their involvement and their identity. So we know self-concept is super.
And it comes from
That's how
where? It
I
comes from
remember it.
where? Where does it come from?
Super. What is not the rainbow? It's not the rainbow. It is the
It's the top of the archway.
yeah, the archway.
Got it. Okay.
So going to the answers, career construction is a process of self-design, being narrowing aspiration due to accessibility. C, a statistic focus on childhood family influence. D, compromise between interest and prestige. So D is out of the question because the compromise. That is Godfamous.
God present.
I'm saying his name wrong, but
She's a she. So
It's a
Anne Rowe
she.
and Linda are the only two women. Yes, that's important. They're the only
See,
two women.
if you said Linda, I would have said my
You
head.
know what?
Linda.
I didn't realize y'all was tight like that. I am so sorry.
I remember Linda more than Godfamous, but
Okay, so
um,
you and Linda. Okay.
and
My bad.
and I would get rid of B, narrowing inspiration due to accessibility. So now we left with A and C, and we on an archway of golf. I mean, the golf super. Archway is super. I'm sorry.
So
And
my
we
answer
encourage a
is
client. So the client encourage a client. Encourage the client to reflect on a self-concept across different life roles and design a career path that aligns with their environment identity. I believe the answer is A.
very good.
A career construction, a process of self-design.
Okay. So does that make sense? Does that make sense? So the career construction, that's the left and the right. So does it make sense of like how vague they are and why we struggle with them so much?
Yes. Yeah, super always been a issue with me when I was studying for them week that one and
I
a half
think if
week.
I think if you were I'll say I think if you ever use the purple book, he doesn't do a great job on super. He doesn't really explain all three of the theories.
He just go through the questions and then explain what's the answer and explain what's not the answer. He really don't go in details like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap you up. I'm going to give you some study questions on the careers. Because you know we got to go to assessments next week. Oops. Mm. Okay, so I usually don't try to study assessments. Let me teach you. Okay, so go from backwards. We're going how many weeks do we have left? Anybody know where we're at? I think I'm going to do a review next week instead of assessment. I'm going to go back over everything up into careers backwards, everything we've gone up to.
Please, that would be great.
So yes, so I'm going to give you questions. That means you need to study every video we've got already. So I'm going to give you a practice test on things we've gone up until this point. So careers is where you're going to stop at and then go backwards, watch every video, everything we've gone over, go to my YouTube channel, all the chapters up until this point. And then I'll do a practice test and then we will go to assessment after that. Okay?
Like that.
Did you get the
Okay.
things out of the chat box?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, we've got everything.
Okie dokie. Bye, guys.
All right, have a great week.
Is that the sound of